Hi, this is Emily from Red Goddess Tarot, and we are reading for Virgo today. Sun, Moon, Rising, Virgo. If you have high degrees of it in your chart, it's something you need to look into, or this, maybe that helps someone who was wondering if they needed to watch this reading. So, um, as you know, the full moon and supermoon, or the supermoon was in Gemini, and we have Mercury in retrograde all on the same day. And so we're in that energy right now until the new moon. And I think until December 22nd is whenever Mercury is out of retrograde. But I just ask you to keep an open mind in this reading and ask your spiritual team or whatever you resonate with to give you signs or signals via something I say or a card, or sometimes my phone dings. Sometimes there's noises down here. I have lots of little spirit helpers that, help give signs to people. So just however you receive those signs of whether or not this message is for you. But if you clicked on it, there's obviously a reason behind it. So just be patient with the process and keep an open mind and ask for signs and signals. So with that being said, let's go into the energy of Virgo for the month of December in 2017. So Virgo, take some deep breaths. Kind of center yourself. Give you a few moments. Okay. So I use the Rider-Waite as the main deck, and then we use the Witch's Tarot, which is right here, and then Doreen Virtue Angel Oracle cards to clarify. So these two to clarify, Rider-Waite is the main deck. So let's see what we're picking up for Virgo for December 2017. Okay. So what are the energies for Virgo for December 2017? And what I do is I lay out 3 cards in 4 rows, and those represent the weeks of the month, and those are the energies that are going on for that week. Now, can they travel into the next week? Yeah, of course. So we'll kind of explain as we go along. So it's not necessarily in a linear fashion. Like, all those energies can be at the beginning of the week, middle of the week, end of the week, or they can all be clustered together, or it just depends. So, because we're talking to a lot of Virgos out there, so whatever resonates with you, take what you need and leave the rest. So, what are the energies for Virgo for December 2017? One more. And I also want to say I'm doing free readings for the month of December. So my email is left at the in the, what do you call it? I guess the box thing that's below the YouTube thing with my email. So just email me if you want a reading, and we can kind of go off what you watch on here, what you want to know about, and there's really no time limit. So, because I'm just doing these for free for now, for the month of December for all you guys. So, what are the energies coming in for Virgo for December 2017? What are the energies for Virgo? We'll do like 2 more. Okay, 1 more. What are the energies for Virgo for December 2017? Oh, okay. So, the first week we have the 7 of Cups. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Sorry, there is a terrible glare. Oh my gosh. That is so bad. There we go. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Sorry about that. I'm sure I blinded some of you. In that case, just send me a bill. We have the King of Wands. Okay. That's for the first week. The second week we have the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles for the second week. We have the 10 of Pentacles for the second week. We have the Page of Swords. Oh, see that glare? Page of Swords for the second week. For the third week, we have the 7 of Swords. we have the High Priestess, Major Arcana, for the 3rd week. Queen of Swords for the 3rd week. We have the Star, Major Arcana, for the 4th week. We have Justice, Major Arcana, for the 4th week. And we have the 7 of Pentacles for the 4th week. And underneath the deck, we have the 10 of Wands. Okay, so that's kind of the underlying energy that tells me kind of where you're at, what's the driving force behind all this, maybe your subconscious mind, maybe what you're doing in the physical world, but let's see where this goes. So this tells me that a lot of you are under a lot of burdenous, hard work. So, I want to clarify, but I also see, like, hold on, let me get a drink of something. That you have a lot of cerebral energy and a lot of material world energy, those two energies at the beginning of the month, the first 2 weeks. And I feel like there's some kind of a shift that's going to happen, like a test of some sort that kind of tests you. Because, I mean, that seems to be the theme in all these readings. Everyone's just being tested and tested and tested. And I feel like that's happening because you have the High Priest here, you have the Star, you have Justice. And you kind of have a catalyst right here, the 7 of Swords. You know, the Page and the 7, kind of a catalytic event or thought or anything that kind of pushes you to seek divine wisdom. Okay? Like higher knowledge, spiritual wisdom, spirituality. I feel like you're moving out of the material world in the intellectual world into more spiritual things that don't necessarily meet the eye, things that don't necessarily make sense to everybody. But I feel like there's a challenge in your intellect. Things aren't making sense to your intellect of what's going on with you. I feel like you're going to have to seek some spiritual guidance, whether it's through a spiritual liaison or yourself, calling upon your higher self and meditation, prayer, however you want to do that, being counseled by someone who is, kind of like I said, a spiritual liaison, someone that can draw upon the spiritual realm and let you know what's going on, and an intuitive or an empath. I feel like I need to say that for some people. You guys know intuitives or empaths. Call upon these people. These are people that can help you in the second half. But let's go in and clarify and get a better glimpse of what's going on here. So, clarify Virgo reading for 2017. Clarify the Virgo reading for clarify Virgo's reading for 2017. Do one more. All right. Do a couple more. All right. So on the 7 of Cups, we have the High Priest. Okay. So remember I said a spiritual liaison? The High Priest, okay? Who is the counterpart? Well, kind of. The Magician's actually the counterpart of the High Priestess, but the High Priest can also be the counterpart. So, I feel like you guys need spiritual guidance right now. So let's see what else is at play. On the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Hanged Man. Okay. Major Arcana. Both of those are Major Arcana. The High Priest, the Hanged Man. So you're getting strong messages from the divine to seek higher wisdom, higher knowledge. Okay. The King of Wands, the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups. The Nine of Pentacles, the Magician. Did I not just mention the Magician? It's funny how that stuff works out. If someone needed a sign, there it is. Okay. The Ten of Pentacles, Strength, Major Arcana. Page of Swords, Six of Cups. Okay. Seven of Swords, Ace of Wands. On the High Priestess, we have the Eight of Swords. On the Queen of Swords, we have the Hermit, Major Arcana. Once again, calling you to be introspective, to seek higher knowledge, to speak spiritual means as solving problems, not just the material world, not just your intellect. On the Star, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay? Knight of Pentacles. On Justice, we have Major Arcana Temperance. A lot of Major Arcana cards here. So on the Seven of Pentacles, we have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords. Okay. Also, one of my other readings had the Queen of Swords underneath the clarifying deck as well. So let's see where that takes us. So you're carrying a heavy burden, Virgo. It feels like it's your thoughts are burdening you. You're just really struggling like with conflicting ideologies, conflicting thoughts. A lot of you are conflicted with religion. A lot of you are conflicted with spirituality. I feel like that for a lot of you, you're just, I mean, in general, you're conflicted, but I feel like for a lot of you that are watching this, you're conflicted with the way you grew up with religion, with the way you grew up with spirituality, or lack thereof, or lack thereof both. But you're seeking higher wisdom for some reason, whether you realize it or not. So here we have the Seven of Cups and the High Priest. The High Priest represents like dogma, religious institutions, and I feel like you're here and there's multiple options of how you're just seeing that there's more than one viewpoint. I feel like you're recognizing than just the one you grew up with, whatever that may be, and you're exploring your options here with the Seven of Cups, all these different options, and I think it's overwhelming for you. You're like, where do I turn? What's right? What's wrong? Okay, I feel it very strongly. Okay, I think that's where that Ten of Wands comes in. If that's the burden you're carrying, I mean, this is heavy burden. I feel like a lot of you are afraid of going to hell. I feel like saying that. I feel like some of you need to hear that. I feel like there's a huge fear of the state of your soul, you know? So here you have the Ace of Pentacles and you have the Hanged Man, Major Arcana. So the Ace of Pentacles is this divine gift that's being offered to you on the material realm, but I don't feel like you're putting yourself in suspension and seeing things from a different perspective, and you're like, you know what? I just feel like that's not the answer. There's more than the material world. And so you'll stay in this place of the Hanged Man for a while, I feel like, until you are enlightened, until you feel you have the answers to these spiritual questions. So, but don't be, my recommendation would to not, I mean, I gave this recommendation in another reading, is do not get so stuck in the spiritual realm that you forget about the physical realm. You know, the spiritual realm is just as important as the physical realm. We have to live in a lot of different arenas as far as, our our nature. We're a multifaceted creature, okay? So it's not just the spiritual and the material. There's plenty of other realms of being that we exist in. And I think the more you're exposed to that, the more understanding you'll have that, you know, there's more than what meets the eye, Virgo. There's more than what meets the eye, and I think you're starting to see that. Also, in conjunction with this spiritual journey, or the lack thereof, whatever you're choosing to do, maybe it's you're discovering the material world. But you have the King of Wands here, so fire sign. I mean, this typically represents Aries, but fire sign, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I feel like there's a love connection between you and another fire sign, maybe an Aries, maybe a Leo, maybe a Sagittarius. Okay, but there's a fire sign in your life that has struck your interest at least, or someone that has strong fire in their charts, high degrees of fire. And I think you've kind of been envisioning them, or at least you like them. I don't know. It seems like they don't know that you like them. See, their heads turning the other way. I don't think they know. I think they're oblivious. But you have all these lofty dreams of being with them, and I don't think you've made it known to them how you feel. But with this Ten of Cups, I mean, this may be someone worth really looking into. Maybe being brave enough to say, hey, look, I like you. I'm into you. Just something to think about. Okay. Now, for the next week, the second week, we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Magician. Okay. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is telling me that whatever's going on in the material world for you is great. You're good in the material world. You've got that down. Now, the Magician comes in, and as I said on this spiritual quest, you start realizing that there's more than, not only there to, oh my gosh, I'm tongue-tied. Not only is there more to what meets the eye, but you're realizing that you have the power to work within those elements. This is your initiation card. Some of you need to hear that. Some of you are being initiated into, you know, esoteric studies, esoteric schools, you know, secret schools that possess hidden knowledge. The Freemasons, I feel like saying that one. The Mormon Church, anything involving the study of alchemy, Hermeticism, you know, any left-hand path, right-hand path, Rosicrucians. I'm sorry, I'm listing them all off, but either way, even if you're not a part of those, even if you're not being initiated into those organizations, you have found that you have the capacity to manifest whatever you want, because you are the master of your own universe. And that was another thing I said to one of the other signs in the reading. You're realizing that you have the power to manifest whatever you want. Now, the warning with that is, as every card has, any good card has a dark side, or any light card has a dark side, any dark card has a light side. It's just how the universe works. We're in a world of opposites, opposing forces. So I feel like the warning with that is, be careful what you wish to manifest. Are your intentions pure? Okay? It's all about intentions. Whenever you go into that realm, what are your intentions? Be mindful of them. Now you have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay? And strength. So, in that Magician energy, in this initiatory phase of realizing there's more than meets the eye, and I have the ability to manifest whatever I want, you start, through your strength of character, you start manifesting on the serious level in the material world. But don't forget about the spiritual realm. Don't forget that you're on this spiritual journey. Don't get so wrapped up in the material world. Don't forget there's things you have to manifest spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. There's so many. I mean, it's like an endless loop of stuff that you can do, but just don't get hung up on one. That's my recommendation. So the Page of Swords and the Six of Cups. Okay. You're just in this mood. I feel like you're ready to play and have fun and use this newfound knowledge, and you're ready to test it out. Now, the page represents challenges or tested. You're ready to challenge what you know. You want someone to challenge you, and you have this childlike air about you that is delightful. But it also sends the warning of be careful. Be careful of your intentions. Be careful what you might pick up from others in this journey. Just, there's nothing wrong with this playful energy, but do realize that there's a whole other world that you don't know about. You know a little bit about it, and you may know a lot about it, but I feel like for some reason just warning you of, knowing your limitations right now as you grow in this spiritual journey, okay? Just, we all have limitations as we grow. So just be aware of them and what you're ready to take on, what you're not ready to take on. That's all. Which brings me to the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Okay. All right. So the Seven of Pentacles, or Seven of Swords, I'm sorry. Seven of Swords represents deception. Okay. It represents theft. It represents avoiding something, lying through omission, deceit, lies. Now, this could be you, Virgo. And the Ace of Wands is the purest form of creative energy. So maybe what this is saying is maybe you're not protecting yourself enough. And you're just so forthright and excited with this childlike energy that others, they sense, people that don't have good intentions, they're out there. I feel like that they sense this childlike naivety, which is not a bad thing in regards to where you're at, and I feel like that they're willing to take you down at any cost and take what they can from you. Now, what you can do to protect yourself from that is protect your thoughts, protect your emotions and your actions and your material world. And how do you do that? You get right with yourself first. And balance all those energies within yourself and find out where, you have the capacity to develop a new skill or something like that. So I'm not saying be weary of people. I'm just saying there are people that do sense this innocence in what you're doing. And I don't, I just hope that you are able to see them. And if you don't, then that's a part of the journey, the karmic journey. It was meant to happen for a reason. But maybe if you're watching this can help you in that journey of recognizing that. So, or maybe this is telling you that you have a creative endeavor and someone's trying to take it from you. Someone's trying to take credit for it, where they don't have any copyright or anything. Kind of felt like saying copyright for a reason. Okay, so also for the third week, we have the High Priestess and the Eight of Swords. Okay, so the Ace of Swords kind of is running off the Seven of Swords. It's like the heightened energy of the Seven of Swords. It seems like something does happen to where you've put yourself in a trap. You've allowed yourself to be put in a trap. Okay, but the High Priestess calls you to look inward of what caused that. What wasn't strong? Where were you not as strong? Where do you need work? So it's a karmic lesson in the sense that it was there to strengthen you in this journey, not to knock you down. Okay? Not to knock you down. It was there to strengthen you. You can walk out of the trap. It's not a trap. Some things are put in our lives to strengthen us. Sometimes we have events that happen that seem like an attack, whenever actually it's just how things are, and we can either look at it as an attack or we can look at it as an opportunity to grow and learn and become better. evolve. So that's what that is saying. So it does seem like there's some deception out there and some trickery, but I feel like, going back to the magician, is this is a path that you choose. So know the stakes. I mean, know the stakes of this journey. That there will be tests, there will be trials. It's life, but know that with anything, you're in new territory. I feel like with whatever it may be, whatever kind of journey you're on. But I just feel like this is a spirit. I just feel like very specifically a spiritual journey. Um. So okay, with the High Priestess there, we have the Queen of Swords and we have the Hermit. So I feel like this Queen of Swords energy is saying, go back. You spend enough time. You know, you. I'm just going to be forthright and honest with you. What I get, I feel like the Queen of Swords is telling you straight up, you need to go inward again. You need to look at where, and I feel like look how she's saying it. She's like, look, she's trying to help you. This energy is, and it may be a person that's trying to help you, saying, maybe an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Maybe this person or this energy, like I said, it doesn't have to be a person, it could just be an energy kind of coming to you saying, look, this is why this happened. Go inward and you'll find the answers, okay? The Hermit doesn't always want to go find the answers, but he does anyways because he knows it's what's best for him. He knows it's part of his growth to his higher self. And that's what we're all trying to achieve in this life, right? Is getting back to our highest self for our highest good, for the highest good of others. So heed the advice of the Queen of Swords. Don't try to stop this from happening. Don't just be aware that it might happen, and whatever you need to do is learn from it. Okay. So here we go with the Star and the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is the ultimate test card. Here he comes, and you're an earth sign, you're Virgo. This is the Pentacles. This is the realm of earth. So something tells me that you're going to be tested again, yet again, by something. Or maybe the week before is a warning of this test, this challenge. It's not really a test, it's a challenge. But maybe to challenge where you're at, to strengthen your resolve in where you're at. Okay, so, pick up a racket and join the game. You've got skill. I said this in one of the other readings too, is, we play sports or chess or anything with opponents who are better than us so that they can teach us where we're weak, where we're not as strong, so we can get better. They attack our weak points so we can grow and learn from it. Don't look at it as an attack. It's not. It's a challenge. As such as life, it's a challenge. So don't fold yet. The Star is the hope card. Okay? You have a lot in your corner for whatever's coming. Okay? So just trust it. Trust that you'll be fine. Trust that this is the universe unfolding and giving you opportunities to grow and get better, however that may come to you. Okay? Okay, so we have Justice and Temperance, and these two kind of mirror each other. Maybe that's the challenge, is I feel like this is kind of the challenge, especially looking onward into the week. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. Okay? So you're juggling things in the material world, whereas you're supposed to be juggling the spiritual world and the material world. Okay, so I feel like this energy here, Justice and Temperance, Temperance is balancing, a balancing act, okay? Temperance, patience, balance, justice, balance, okay? It's the sign of Libra, okay? Libra brings balance. So maybe your challenge is to get out of the material world and go into, seek spiritual means, seek spiritual guidance. Okay? And I feel like you have the Queen of Swords right here. I feel like you might find that You know, because this is Libra. This Justice is Libra. Queen of Swords also represents Libra, or an air sign. Could be Gemini, could be. But I feel like it's kind of a Libra. I do. That could help you in all this, or at least a Libra energy. Call upon balance. Just ask the universe to balance your energies, because you don't want to be one way or the other. You'll feel the extremes. You'll feel them, so you'll know if you're off kilter. So just be aware. Just be aware of what's going on in your life and what's coming in and out of your life. Where is it affecting you? Where do you need to grow? Because I know Virgos are very analytical. They kind of live in their heads. They like order. They don't like chaos. Chaos and order have to exist together. They're opposites. So allow a little chaos in your life. Allow a little order in your life. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, but balance it. You know, balance is key to your success here and this journey that is, you know, December. So, let's kind of see what the angels have to say about. We'll just pull one card for the energy of the month. So, what is angels? What is the summation? What's the energy of the month? What advice do you have for the month December 2017 for Virgo? What advice do you have for Virgo for the month of December 2017? One more. All right. So, what we have is a year from now. That's the advice, is a year from now. So, I feel like that when you're on this spiritual journey, will you really have a decent idea of where you're going with it is from a year from now. So just be mindful of that in your journey, that it's not all going to come overnight. And just be patient. Allow the process to happen. All right, well, I send you all Virgos in love and light. And happy holidays for those who celebrate. If not, have a blessed month of December. Bye.